What does this mean for the fan? Let me start out, let's just say college football fan. What is this going to mean now, 5 years down, 10 years down the road?
Dan, it means very little, really, because this is all complicated, a lot of legal mumbo jumbo. What I think it will really mean, though, if you're a fan of a group of five school, if you're a fan of a school somewhere in the middle, get ready for hard times. This is only going to help the rich. Where have you heard that before? The big leagues, the Big Ten, the SEC will more than likely profit because they have so much money. Uh, Women's sports, in my opinion, will be hurt. Olympic sports will be crushed. Football wins. Basketball, other than maybe the Big East, takes a slight backseat.
What happens to the NCAA?
The NCAA is essentially dead. And I know a lot of people are celebrating, but the damage that has been done by this organization is incalculable, and it's really about time. What did we grow up thinking about when we thought of the NCAA, Dan? The enforcement part of it. The big bad NCAA is coming to your town. They don't even have any jurisdiction for that anymore. By the way, not that they have in about the last 5 years. They've been completely ineffective. So if you're the NCAA president, who happens to be Charlie Baker, you get to fly around on a luxury plane. You work in a Taj Mahal. You stay at five-star resorts, but essentially you have absolutely nothing to do but try to look busy.
Is Division One too big?
Yes, right now in college sports, piggybacking off of what I said in the preamble, it's really about the top. It's a pyramid. And the idea that a college basketball tournament, which used to be one of the greatest moments on the calendar, has now been reduced to a battle of the elite is really unfortunate. But there's no way if you're a small college basketball program like a Butler 10 years ago or some of these other programs that have just been so exciting, Davidson making a run with Steph Curry, you really don't have a chance. And I know that sounds deflating, and even if you are good, if you have a junior or a sophomore, he's going to one of the top teams for his final year. He's not sticking around.
A couple of things that came to mind is NIL, the transfer portal, signing contracts that might make it tougher to transfer. Can schools buy out a player from his NIL? I mean, I don't, it's the wild, wild west. So these are all these questions that I had. So pick one of those if you've got a juicy answer.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the biggest issue in college athletics is the portal. That's what coaches scream about because they're constantly on the go, having to re-recruit their roster. So I think that's really where the action is. I'm not sure this agreement is going to affect that. And I don't mean to be one of those guys that says it's actually going to get worse in some regard, but there are going to be more lawsuits. And I think you're going to see Title IX lawsuits about right after we've had the greatest explosion of women's sports, especially in basketball, women's softball, now it's going to be curtailed. What is really going on, and it's very much out in the open, is the commissioners of college sports want federal intervention. It's interesting, Dan, that yesterday up in New Jersey, the athletic director at Notre Dame, who used to be in the PGA, so he knew the president very well from his days there, and the commissioner of the Southeastern Conference, Greg Sankey, played golf with Donald Trump with the idea of trying to get him to do what Congress has not done in 4 or 5 years, despite a lot of smoke. And I'm not a political analyst. This president has quite a bully pulpit, and he does seem, at least for the time being, to be very interested in college athletics. And some of that is because he's a sports fan. He's gone to a number of games. He likes the arena. So he could help in the short term, but from a legal standpoint, almost everything will be challenged at some point. But the idea of Congress giving college athletics an antitrust exemption, limiting college athletes in terms of what they can make, I think it still remains fairly slim.